back, and today I'm going to make brownies. I'm going to use my favorite recipe, but I'm going to modify it because my daughter has a lot of allergies, and so I'm going to use stuff that I know that she can personally have without having an allergic reaction. So the first step is we're going to melt some chocolate. So typically I would use baker's chocolate. Today I'm going to use this particular brand of chocolate, which I know she can eat, and it says it's free from 14 allergens. So check it out if you have some allergies and see if you can eat this too, but I know that she's eaten it before. So we're going to melt these chips in the microwave and then go to the next step. I'll be right back. Okay, so the next step is, while that's melting in the microwave, is I need 1.5 cups of sunflower oil, and my daughter can have sunflower oil. She cannot have any dairy like in butter. So I'm going to go and get level with my measure, and I'm going to pour this sunflower oil to 1.5 cups. Okay, and then I'm just going to kind of set this aside. I'm looking over at the microwave. We're still okay on the microwave, and there it is. I'm going to go check it, and I'll be right back. Oh, I put that in the microwave. This is really hot. Be very careful. Get hot pads. It actually took a little bit longer than I thought. And I'm going to stir this around and have it finish melting because we don't want to burn the chocolate, and I don't want all the chocolate to go flying everywhere. And it is quite hot, so I can just keep on mixing this and finish melting it. It smells really good. This is a very good quality chocolate. I could tell by the smell. So this is also good, you know, if you were going to make brownies and you didn't have the baker's chocolate, but you had a bag of chocolate chips. So we will find out how this comes out. I have a feeling it's going to come out just wonderfully. All right, so I have my other bowl here that I'm going to put everything into. So I'm going to put my oil in my mixing bowl. And I'm going to use my rubber spatula. Oh, I think I'll get a different rubber spatula. Okay, got one that's a little bit smaller. And I also might use the residue of the oil to grease my pan, my casserole dish. I'm going to actually make it in a casserole dish. So I don't want to get chocolate in there for that. And now let's look at our chocolate chips. That looks good. So we're going to scrape this bowl and add it to the oil. Okay. Having a rubber spatula is very handy for these types of things. So if you're going to do a lot of baking, I would highly recommend a rubber spatula. Let's see if I can get a little bit more of this out of here. I'll try to adjust the camera just a tad. There. Let me move it back a little so everybody can see. Oh, now I'm getting myself full of... Oh, no. Yep, I'm getting myself full of chocolate, all right. Okay. If I'm not making a mess, I am not cooking. All right. Okay. That's as much, whoa. That is as much as I'm going to get out of there. Okay. So the next thing is, I'm going to wipe myself up a little because I have chocolate on me. I'll be right back. All right, so I'm going to break 4 eggs. So we need 4 eggs. And I'm going to use my little sugar container for my garbage. Set that aside. 1, 2, 3, 4. And actually I need 6 eggs, so I will be right back. Okay, good thing I was double checking that. So I need 6 eggs. So I got 4, 5, 6, saw my little garbage thing. And then we will scramble these up a little. Okay, and now we need 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I'm going to put it in with the eggs. 1, 2. Okay, so I'm going to measure out my sugar next. I'm not going to put my eggs and my vanilla in next because the fact that I melted this chocolate, it's a little warm and I don't want my eggs to cook. So I'm going to start adding my dry ingredients. So we need 4 cups of sugar. 1. 2. And I might also mention that when you measure out sugar, you need to level it off like this, using a flat edge. I use flat edge of a knife, but if you have a spatula, that's great too. So that's 3. 4. And now the next step is, I also want to mention the eggs I used are eggs that my daughter can eat also. And now I'm going to use her flour, and hers is special organic flour that she can have. All right, so on the flour, I need 2 cups of flour. And also when measuring flour, you want to level it off. 1. 2. The thing I like about brownies is it's the type of recipe that you can kind of just put everything into one bowl, and it kind of saves some time. All right, so let's go over our ingredients. So far I have my chocolate in here, and I did the 1 package of the chocolate morsels. I have 1.5 cups of sunflower oil. I have 4 cups of sugar. I got my 6 eggs and my 2 teaspoons of vanilla, which I'm going to pour in just a little bit. And I have my 2 cups of flour. So now I'm going to just start hand mixing this first. So this is going to cool down all that chocolate before I add my eggs. And then we'll take it over the mixer to get it really well blended. And this smells really good already, like I said. And I also want to mention that I have my oven preheated to 375. Okay. Add, whoops, oh gosh, I'm making a mess today. Okay, I'm going to add my eggs and my vanilla, and then we're going to go over to the mixer and start mixing. Okay, so now we're ready to mix, and I want to mention that I'm using this particular beater. You don't want to use a dough hook because we're not making cookie dough or bread. And you don't want to use a wire whisk because that's good for whipped cream and different types of sauces and stuff like that. All right, so we're going to want to mix this very well. And as I mentioned before, again, I'm going to mention that my oven is preheating to 325 because we're going to cook it nice and slow and make it come out really well. Okay, I'm going to move this in so you guys can see down there. And let's mix this all up. Okay, we're gonna scrape it down with my rubber spatula over here. Scrape the sides and the bottom, because that's important to do. Oh, this smells so good. I might have to ask her for a taste. I think I'm gonna have her do the taste test. But I think I might have to taste some, because it smells so good. Oops. All right. Mix it a little bit more. Now, I always start slow and then I go higher with the speed, and the higher with the speed, what that does is it actually whips the air into the brownies or a cake or whatever you happen to be making, and it makes it fluffier. Let's see if we're ready. I think we are. Okay. Let's see. That's definitely ready. You can see. All right, so let's go prepare the pan. We need to grease the pan, and normally I would use butter, but my daughter cannot eat butter, so we're going to use the leftover sunflower oil out of this container, and that's why I didn't want to go ahead and get chocolate in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a very thin layer of the oil, just because I don't want this to stick. And as I said before, I think I mentioned, she's probably going to freeze some of these, which will be nice in like individual size portions. And then if she wants one, she can just take it out, let it sit on the counter for a little while, and we'll be good to go. Okay, so now that looks pretty good. And now let's put a little flour. Not a lot, just a little bit. And this is her flour. Okay, now we're going to take this over to the sink. Okay, excuse the few things I have in my sink. So I'm going to go ahead, I have a silicone brush I'm just setting over there. I'm going to move this stuff out of the way. Then I'm just going to kind of bang on here. Just going to shake this around, and then I have the silicone brush that works great to just even it out like this. And like I said, I didn't use a lot of oil, and I wanted to just use it out of that container so I wouldn't accidentally get too much oil, because there's plenty of oil inside the brownies. And as I said before, I did use sunflower oil. Has a nice flavor, especially when you're dealing with chocolate. Whoops, I am just making a big mess today. So there it is. Okay, now it is time to pour in the batter. And this is a thick, heavy batter, so I'm glad I have a handle on my mixing bowl. So using the rubber spatula to scrape the sides and pour at the same time. Like I said, it really smells good. Don't eat it raw though, because there are raw eggs in here, so you don't want to do that. Although I will say it's tempting. So this is the first time I'm doing this, so we will see how it turns out. I have a feeling based on the texture of the batter, I think it's going to really turn out good. Okay. Scraping out. This is almost done. And I'm managing to get chocolate. I'm going to have to change my clothes. I managed to get chocolate on my apron and on my shirt, and just a mess. But it's a fun mess. Okay, so I'm gonna I think I'm just gonna take a butter knife, make it easy. All my other stuff's on the other side of the kitchen there. All right. Okay. Now I'm just going to spread this evenly. Hope everybody's having a good day. So what I'm first going to do when I put this in the oven is I'm going to set a timer for 20 minutes just so we could check on it. But I do anticipate this taking about 30 to 40 minutes because I'm making a thicker brownie. And that's even my favorite brownie recipe, is a thicker brownie. So what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to even this out so that I don't have one spot, you know, cook really fast, and just trying to have it be kind of all the same level. So if you're wondering what I'm up to here. Okay. I think we're awfully close, so let's go take this into and put it in the oven. Okay, so it is coming along. Smelling absolutely delicious, but I can tell because it's really shiny on top that we still have a ways to go. So I'm going to set a timer for another probably 15 minutes and we'll check. Okay, I did the toothpick test in the oven, but I'm going to show everybody what it's going to look like. So I see how it came out clean. So now it's ready. It's got to cool off, and the only thing we'll have left is the taste test. Okay, now it is time for the taste test. I just want to show you guys these brownies. They came out super moist and they smell so good. And since I did make them for my daughter, I'm going to have her try them. I'm going to give her a nice big piece. Look at that. Okay. All right, let me get her.
So, brownies. Trying to make sure it drops on the plate, not on the floor for the dog. It's the first time I've had a brownie in like over 10 years, because with my allergies, my mom hasn't been able to make me brownies, so it is like, oh my gosh. It's so good. I miss the texture of brownies so much.
All right, I'm going to just try a tiny little piece. I have to adjust the camera. She's so much taller than I am. Sorry, everybody. Okay, I'm going to try one. Just a little piece. I'm going to save them all for her.
Oh God, this is so good.
Super, super moist. Lots of chocolate. So good. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this recipe. If you have allergies, I hope this one works for you. For those of you who subscribe to my channel, thank you very much. And if you don't, I really hope that you do. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.